Alright. Now we should be good. And maybe we'll get some
Best work with Grammarly's comprehensive AI writing assistance. What if they could jumpstart ideas for any assignment?
For a little bit, but we'll see. That might change. I don't know.
What if they could be more transparent about their text sources?
Let's go back to that other video.
I start my day with Rise Mushroom Coffee.
Oh, do you? Cool. Alright, here's what we want. The reason I like
of July.
The reason I like Asmongold stuff is because he brings up the new stuff that I also want to talk about, and he gives his opinion, and then I get to give my opinion, and, you know, I don't know. It's kind of like two people's opinion on the same news, basically, and I get to do that since he does the same thing that I'm trying to put together for you guys, so.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and First
We don't all have the same opinions.
Lady Melania Trump.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States and First Lady Melania Trump.
Try it again. There we go. Yep. There he is. And he's wearing a pink tie. That's kind of his color.
No.
And then there's, oh, it's just a binder full of shit. I thought that was the bill. What the hell is he saying? They're gonna have to wait. Were they trying to take photos and shit? It's the Epstein list. Imagine if he just lists off some names, bro. Like he's like Bill Gates, you know, Jeffrey
Who
Epstein,
knows? Guess
Stephen
we'll
Hawking.
see.
He just starts
If we
going
get
down it.
anybody watching,
Bill Clinton.
At least the chat box is working.
He's
That's
feeling it,
good.
yeah. So they're gonna have a fight right here too? Is this gonna be where the UFC fight is? They just have two dudes beating the fuck out of each other for the championship?
There's no telling, bro. No telling. Dude.
That's gonna be crazy. I don't know what they're waiting on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Master Gunnery Sergeant Kevin Benier, accompanied by the President's own United States Marine Band, will now honor America
So I
with the
haven't
singing
watched
of
this
our
yet,
national
by the way.
anthem, followed by a flyover consisting of a B-2
Oh
Spirit
my
bomber
God.
from Whiteman Air Force
Wow.
Base, escorted by two F-35 fighters in honor of all our military personnel who
Oh my
participated in
God.
Operation Midnight Hammer and who are currently serving both home and abroad, protecting our nation's freedom.
I'm literally live right now. It's not saying
Man.
anymore.
The content
Says
president. That's right.
Says everything good.
Trump UFC fight? Yeah, I don't know why it's not showing the audio.
At the twilight last
Oh my God.
What's up, Bomber?
They barely even showed it.
through the peril.
We're gonna fast forward a little bit through that. Oh, he finally brings his wife out.
He's like, stand right here, stand to me. Yeah, it's gonna look good. What are they doing?
Yeah. Why does
What
he
are
have
they
that
doing?
look on his face?
It's so awkward. I don't know what the next plan is. I don't know what this is. They're posing? I guess so, right? They're waiting for something else to happen. They're waiting on more flyovers? Is that it?
We can still meet up for dinner or something if you want, or
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
you can always.
The flyover was early. I think that it was early too, honestly. Maybe they're trying to run it back.
You can swing by.
I mean, I feel like they kind of just planned all this shit last minute, right? So, like, things weren't really locked in. The audio guy's gonna get fired. Yeah, true. Bro, guy, I don't know what the hell they're doing. Have the audio guy go work at Bungie. Oh, here
Ladies and gentlemen, the President
There we
of
go.
the United
here we
States
go.
and First Lady Melania Trump.
All right. So
Let's see how
he's signing
this
the bill
goes.
into law right now, right?
Well, thank you very much. And that is some sight, especially after what happened just a week ago when you look at that big, beautiful plane, and the other ones were something. It was an incredible mission. And I think I can say very proudly, and I don't have to quote the polls, that our country is more proud right now than it's been in many, many years. We have pride, we have dignity, we have something that's happened
A bit louder? Yeah, I get it.
miraculously so fast. You know that our military now is the most sought-after job there's ever been, serving in our military. 1 year ago, people didn't want to join our military. They didn't want to join our police or
In order to
firefighters.
join the military a year
They
ago,
didn't
you
want
had to be
join
trans.
anything having to do with our country. And now, as you
It was a
probably know,
requirement.
the enlistment is at an all-time record.
We're
We're packed.
fat.
We're full. And I just think that's so important because that was so sad 1 year ago when I heard those statistics. We had a different president, but nobody wanted to join, and now we're at a record. And I will say that I just left NATO, where we had a tremendous experience.
So, just my opinion on this, I feel like it's a can't beat 'em, join 'em type of thing for some people. Some people still don't like Trump. I personally have no problem with the guy. I love the things that he's doing. But there's still a lot of people on the left-hand side that they still secretly low-key hate him, and they're just going along with this because they have no choice now.
They've agreed to put up over $1 trillion a year. They went from less than 2% to 5%, and nobody thought that was possible.
Great.
And they told me very strongly, the leaders of a big part of the world, very respected people all, they told me that, 1 year ago your country was dead, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So that's the way it is, and that's the way we like it. And it's only going to get hotter. I promise you that.
That's global
After
warming
that
and climate
spectacular
change.
display of American power, let me just say that
Yep.
God bless the United States military
I don't see
and
a
God
teleprompter.
bless the USA.
Oh, yeah.
God bless the USA. And to all Americans,
Amen.
I want to wish you a very happy Independence Day, happy 4th of July. This is going to be something special. There's spirit in this country. We haven't seen anything like it in many, many years, in decades.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are ditching their car insurance and they're doing this?
No, and I would never do
Let me
business
also
with a
express our
company that
gratitude
interrupts
to
what I'm
our
trying to watch. I don't know
magnificent
why.
First Lady.
I'm going to speak on that for a little bit. I'll never understand ads and pop-ups. Like, I get it, put them on the screen over here to the left or put them on the screen to the right. But to interrupt a video that somebody is watching to push your product makes people not like your product or your company. There's no way that stuff even works. Like, I have never been like, oh, I was watching this TV show and man, dude, they stopped it. And you know what? I changed the kind of toilet paper I use today. Get out of here, dude.
She worked very hard to make this all work. We have a fireworks display about 9 o'clock tonight. I hope you're all going to be around and watch it. I know our congressmen and our senators who are standing right here, so many of them, they did such a great job. They're going to be here. I guarantee you, they're not leaving. They're not leaving. Thanks as well to the National Park Service, the USO, and countless friends and distinguished guests. We have so many people in the audience
Dark
that
at 9? Is
have
it?
so much to do with the success of our country. We've, I think, had probably the most successful almost 6 months as a president, and
Isn't it
the
crazy it's been
presidency.
less than 6 months?
I think they're saying it was the best
That's
6
nuts.
months, and I know for a fact they're saying the
Holy
last
fuck.
2
He's
weeks there's
accomplished
never
a
been
lot
anything like
in
it
less
as far
than
as
6 months,
winning,
guys.
winning,
I
winning.
mean,
I feel like it's been like 2 years.
So as you know, 2 weeks ago, our incredible Air Force pilots conducted one of the most successful military strikes in all of history, Operation Midnight hammer, and that's exactly what it was. It was a hammer. This evening, we're honored to be joined by 150 airmen and their families from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, home of the B-2 bomber.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And we've kept them a little bit on guard. We kept them a little bit, let's be a little bit quiet about it. But if you want to raise your hand very quickly, raise your hand, because you people are just incredible. They don't want to be in disguise. You know, they say, we don't have to do that. They're looking at us like we're a bunch of babies. We don't have to be in disguise. We saw all those hands go up. Thank you very much. We owe you everything. Great job. Incredible. Just flawless. One of the most flawless military campaigns in the history of our country. If you remember years ago, they had helicopters crashing into each other. It was a disaster. The hostages in Iran. And we had just the opposite. We didn't have any crashes. We didn't lose any planes. We didn't lose anybody. Those beautiful planes that you saw were totally stealth. They flew right over the center of a very hostile country. And they never even saw it coming. And then they said, skedaddle. They dropped the bombs. They said, skedaddle. And that big sucker turned over like this on its side, and it got out of there. Well, I'll tell you what, how they do that, but they can do it. I asked our great General Kane, how do they do that? Do they really love doing that? Look at them, they're all laughing. And I said, do they really like doing it, sir? They can't wait. Better you than me. That's all I can say. It was a flawless mission. Every single bomb hit, and it was total obliteration. Total obliteration. Now, even the fake news is admitting that. They hated to admit it, but they had no choice. That was an incredible thing, and these heroic pilots showed our enemies what it means to fly, fight, and win. To every service member who supported that mission, and we have many of them here. We've made we've made you proud by supporting, but you've made us even prouder by having the courage to get in those gorgeous machines and fly through the roughest airspace anywhere in the world. And we salute you, and we honor you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you.
So he about to sign the bill?
And we're also honored and delighted to be joined by hundreds of service members and military families. Those families are the best we have, from all across the U.S. Armed Forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Space Force. I love the Space Force. You know why?
No script, boys.
We're the ones that did it.
That's right.
It turned out to be a very invaluable force, actually. The Coast Guard and the Marines are incredible people. On behalf of our entire nation, this 4th of July, we thank you for keeping America safe, strong, sovereign, and free. Thank you very much for being here. Great honor. And stick around for the fireworks. And our country's had so much to celebrate this Independence Day as we enter our 249th year. America's winning like never before. We're not, I'll tell you, we're in a category now that's where we've wanted to be for a long time. We suffered with 4 horrible years of embarrassment.
Are you guys tired
Afghanistan may be the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. We're never going to let a thing like that happen again. Trillions of dollars are pouring into the United States for investment purposes. Almost $15 trillion. There's never been anything like it. There's never been anything even close. The stock market's at an all-time high. Jobs are at an all-time high. Everything's at an all-time high. And we're going to keep it that way. We have the greatest country in the world, and we're back. We're back like nobody thought possible this quickly. I thought it would take maybe a year, maybe 2 years, maybe even 3. And we did it in less than 6 months. We are back and strong.
Powered by NVIDIA Blackwell, the PNY GeForce RTX.
We've restored American strength and deterrence on the world stage. We're respected again. The world is respecting us again. When we did NATO, those leaders came up to me and they said, you know what, we're going to go to a new level of spending because you're requesting it, sir. They didn't talk to you last president like that, I can tell you. They didn't spend any money. They didn't spend anything. In a few moments, we're going to make official the greatest victory yet. when I signed the one big, beautiful bill.
I mean,
And before I start,
yeah,
I want to tell you that
on the 4th of fucking July.
I've never seen people so happy in our country because of that. Because so many
Jesus
different
Christ.
groups of people are being taken care of, the military, and civilians of all types, jobs of all types. We're adding things like the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, child tax credits. So many things are being added that we wouldn't even have time to discuss them. When we were doing it, John,
I'm always like scratching
Mike
my nose
Johnson
or
right
touching
there.
my
I see
face
Mike. What
or
a job
moving
they've done.
I'm big with
What
my
a job
hands,
they've
so
done.
you guys will notice
This is the actual No
like,
Kings
I'm gonna
Day?
But you know, it was
continue
supposed to be
straight.
in 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 different bills.
Maybe
And
one
I was
day
on one of the
somebody will,
fake
and they'll
news
look back at
shows, and I
these
said,
videos.
let's do it in one beautiful, big, we want one big, beautiful bill. I said that to this newscaster, and I think a lot of the congressmen and senators were watching, and they said, let's name the bill.
So look, like, I understand this is going to help a lot of people, but I also feel like it's going to hurt a lot of people. That's my thing with this bill. Like, I've looked at it from front to back. Obviously, there's some stuff that we can't see, but at the end of the day, from everything I've seen, every time you take from one side, or every time you give to one side, you have to take from one side. It's as simple as that. You know, it's kind of like one of those, I don't even know what they're called, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, give a little, take a little, and, you know, somebody's going to suffer along the way, you know, like, and that's life for you. You know, if you're going to get anywhere in life, you might have to step on a few people on the way to where you're going. You know, and there's nothing that you can do about it or anybody else can do about it. You know, it's just like
that one big, beautiful bill, and that's what we did. And what we've done is put everything into one bill. It's never happened before. It's the biggest bill of its type in history. We've never had anything like that before. Nothing like that they thought would be possible to get passed. And actually, I liked it because we had so much in there that no matter who you are, there was something in that bill that would make your congressman or your senator or your congresswoman, much more importantly, raise their hand and support, right, Lisa? So it was something, and it was really something special. So the American people gave us a historic mandate in November. We won everything. We won the swing states, all 7 swing states. We won every one. That rarely happens. We won the popular vote. We won the districts. 2,750 to 505. That's why when you look at a map, it's all red, a little blue on each end, but it's all red.
It's not based off population.
And by the way, red means Republican, just in case. But we made promises, and it's really promises made, promises kept, and we've kept them. This is a triumph of democracy on the birthday of democracy, and I have to say that the people are happy.
What do you think?
They're happy. And I listened to a broadcast, and I read a couple of articles. They have the Democrats, they should have voted for it. They didn't vote for tax cuts. They didn't vote for taking care of people. They didn't vote, not one vote. And we knew that because their hatred of either the country or me or both is so great. They didn't vote at all, and it's terrible. But I just have to say,
this
they
is
have
for
a
2028,
routine.
Ron? Yeah.
It's terrible, they say. Terrible, terrible. You saw that guy standing up for hours yesterday. He didn't know what he was even doing there. I say, when's he sitting down? He had a towel. He's wiping his face. That's not too elegant. But what is he? I said, what is he doing for so long? And he couldn't criticize the bill. He was criticizing everything else and everything else. So they've developed, and this is according to the news media, they've developed a standard line, and we can't let them get away with it. Oh, it's dangerous. Oh, everybody's going to die. It's actually just the opposite. Everybody's going to live. This is just the opposite. And I just want you to know, if you see anything negative put out by Democrats, it's all a con job. And they said, and they compared it to just like the con job of Russia, 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 and all of the other things they did. The 51 intelligence agents said, and the laptop from hell. It came from Russia, they said. No, it didn't. A lot of things come from Russia. That didn't come from Russia. And it was all proven out to be a fake job, and that's what they're doing with this. So we just have to look forward, fellas, look forward and just say what it is because it's the most popular bill ever signed in the history of our country.
Really?
Whether you're military or anybody else, this is the most popular bill ever signed.
Is that true?
And it includes the largest tax cut in American history, the largest spending cut, $1.7 trillion.
I don't know.
And yet you won't even notice it. Just waste, fraud, and abuse in American history. So you have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment in American history. We want to have strong borders. And the only thing is, we want to have great elections too. You need strong borders and elections. And my people have promised me that we're going to go into elections, and we're going to make sure they're not rigged, that they're not.
I'll also start getting better at pausing the video when I talk. I'm sorry for that. Again, I'm just getting started with this, guys. So, and also, if anybody sees this, they can give me a few pointers or something like that. I really appreciate it. That's for sure. Like, I definitely don't have stage fright. And I have a lot to say about this kind of stuff and a lot of things, you know. So, definitely, I could use all the help I can get.
Sullied. We're going to make sure that the elections are going to be fair. You need two things. You need strong borders and you need fair elections. Now, we're going to make sure on the elections also, and our armed forces are one of the most vital military modernizations of all time. It will take place. So we rebuilt our military in our first term, and now we're going to modernize and remodernize our military, including building a great golden dome all over our land so that if they get nasty with us, it's going to be knocked down. It's going to make any of the golden domes, they call them the iron domes, we're calling ours the golden dome, because we did the iron domes, and we do sort of everything, if you want to know the truth, but this blows it away. We're going to keep you safe. I want to thank every member of the House and Senate who worked to get this bill on my desk, and many of them are here. And I'm not going to mention all their names because we'll be standing here, but I have to mention a few. And especially I want to thank Vice President J.D. Vance, who's been fantastic.
That's going to be the next president.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's been incredible. We have somebody that is, it was a passion. I think he actually loved it. It wasn't easy, but he loved it. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, who's right here. Speaker, thank you very much. What a job, and he worked so closely with the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, who's a fantastic guy. And those two are a team that is not going to be beat. When you look at them and you look at their counterparts on the other side, it's not even close. I want to thank both of you people for doing an incredible job. Thank you very much, John and Mike. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, a brave man. Steve, you know, he suffered a tragedy a number of years ago. I was at his hospital bedside that night with Melania, with our First Lady, and he had no chance. The doctor said he has very little chance, and you look better today than you did then. He didn't look particularly good that night, I will say. But I learned one thing, his beautiful wife loved him. She was a disaster, right? I told him, I said, Steve, I can only tell you one thing. I was with your family and I was with your wife, and your wife was devastated. She loves you. I've seen a lot of wives that, you know, they don't seem to be so concerned in those situations.
Oh my God.
That's the kind of wife you don't want.
Bro,
but you have a great, beautiful wife who is really there, and you really have done. You're a very brave guy, and Mike and John and everybody standing with you knows it. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. House Majority Whip, this is a guy who is great. When I have a problem, I call him up, and he gets it done. He's a tough cookie. I don't know why he's not the governor of Minnesota. He comes from Minnesota. He's like, look, he goes, no, I don't want to run for governor. You know, come to think of it, I think that's a good idea. You would win so easily. The guy is terrible. You would win. You just have to take a look at that handsome face of yours, and you'd win. Tom Emmer, everybody.
Oh, geez.
He did a great job. I think you should consider that, although we don't want to lose him, do we? We don't want to. Let's say we are. I think say we are.
8 more years.
What a job you did. And Senate Majority Whip John Barrasso, who's incredible. Senate Finance Chairman Mike Crapo. Thank you, Mike. What a job. What a job. He knows that tax stuff. Him and Jason, they really know their stuff. Senate Budget Committee Chairman Lindsey Graham. What a good man he is. I see a poll. He's running, and I see a poll. He's 24 points up. That's not bad, Lindsey. That's not bad. 24 points up in the great state of South Carolina. House Ways and Means Chairman Jason Smith. What a job. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. These people are great. These are great patriots. I have to call them out. House Budget Committee Chairman Jody Arrington. Jody, thank you very much.
Oh.
Jody has been good right from the beginning. And so many others. And they're all here. And they fully understand. They'll never speak to me again, but that's okay. It is what it is, but I just want to thank everybody. A lot of senators here, a lot of congressmen and women here. Lisa, thank you very much, by the way.
Right? I mean, who knows?
Thank you very much. You've been fantastic. So this bill will fuel massive economic growth and lift up the hardworking citizens who make this country run. Yeah. The factory workers, farmers, mechanics, waiters, waitresses, police officers, firefighters, coal miners. Coal is back. Beautiful. Coal. I said you can't use the word coal unless you precede it by saying clean, beautiful coal.
Oh my God.
China's right now building 68 coal generating plants.
China.
And we're putting up wind. It doesn't work.
Please bring up the birds.
Aside from ruining our fields and our valleys and killing all the birds, being very weak and very expensive, all made in China. I noticed something that with all of the windmills that China sends us,
that's a bingo.
Where we waste our money because it's the most expensive energy, I see that, they make about 95% of them, the wind turbines. I have never seen a wind farm in China. Why is that? Somebody check that out. Tom Emmer, would you please check that out? But all the coal miners we love and the truck drivers, in this act, we have officially made the Trump tax cuts permanent. That's the largest tax cut in the history of our country, added to substantial other cuts, which is you're going to see like a rocket ship. We're setting all sorts of economic records right now, and that's before this kicks in. After this kicks in, our country is going to be a rocket ship economically, and we've delivered no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Can they just do no tax?
And that's why when you hear things like that, this is the most it's the biggest bill of its kind ever done by far, but we are going to have a situation, we are going to have something where people are going to realize the level of success and popularity of this bill, and sort of to close it out,
China has 2 times
it makes the child tax credit permanent for 40 million American families. And to increase the car affordability, it makes interest on a new car payment. So this had never happened before. You buy a car, you borrow money. You're allowed to deduct for income tax purposes your payment of interest. You're allowed to deduct it. It's never happened before. So run out and buy a car. But I have to tell you, it's only good, Mike, if it's made in America. If it's made in another country, you don't get it.
She has to sit there and listen to this shit
and to protect 2 million family farms and other small businesses, we're eliminating the estate tax or the death tax. So if you want to leave,
we're just listening.
If you want to leave your farm or your small business, but farms they have been devastated. To your children, if you love your children. By the way, if you don't love your children, don't even listen to what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. But if you love, would you live? Yes, I think you love your child. This one loves Barron. So I don't know if we're a small business. I think we're not. I'm not sure that we qualify. I'm sorry, darling. But it was devastating.
Okay, guys. So yeah, he just said that. Yeah, he just said that.
Devastating farmers, they had to go out and borrow money. And by the way, is that Pam Bondi? Pam Bondi, raise your hand. Thank you, Pam, for being here. Attorney General, she's done an incredible job. So there won't be think of this, there won't be any death tax. You're not going to have to go borrow money. Your parents pass away and the farm goes into the bank's hands and gets foreclosed. That's not going to happen. And with 100% expensing for new investments, we're cutting taxes for every manufacturer who builds, expands, and we have expansion at the highest level that we've ever had it. We have hundreds of factories, including car plants and AI. It's coming into our country at levels that we've never seen. And to conclude, not only will we have the strongest economy on earth, we're also going to have the strongest borders on earth. And last month, did you see the number? 0 people crossed our border.
Wow.
0 illegal people.
That's insane.
And that's after Joe Biden let
That's
21 million people, many of them
Wait, what?
people from gangs
21
and
million?
prisons and drug lords and
What the
That we
fuck?
know
people
of.
that were mentally unbalanced.
21
They let them into our
million.
country. We're getting
Yeah,
them
we
out
know
at
it,
record numbers, and
I-
we have
that's
an
a number that
obligation
they've
to,
thrown
and we're
around a
doing
little
it. So
bit,
as
but
we
we
approach
really
the
don't know.
250th anniversary of America's founding, exactly 1 year from now, we are
That's a
creating an
documented
economy that
number on
delivers wealth for
deportation.
the middle class,
Them literally
a border
counting
that is
heads as
sovereign
they
and
walk
secure, and a
through
military that is
whatever,
unmatched,
exits are walking
unequaled
out.
anywhere in the world. And you saw that.
That's where they
And
got
what
that
a
number
beautiful
from.
sight that
People
was,
don't know.
especially after watching what they did just a short while ago.
Oh, when
The
they blow
golden
up
age
Iran.
of America is
Yeah.
upon us. We are in the golden age. It's going to be a period of time, the likes of which I don't think this country has ever experienced before.
Wow.
We're going to make America great again, and it's happening very fast. We love you. We thank
I
you for
can't
being
wait.
here. Enjoy the fireworks tonight.
I'm the
And
kind of
First
person
Lady,
that
I want to
likes to
thank
work
you. You have
7
been
days a week.
unbelievable. It's very.
So
You think it's
whatever
easy being
AI
First
might
Lady?
be
It's not.
watching anything or anybody like
Thank you all very
I'm
much.
probably one of the hardest
Happy
working
4th
people
of
you ever
July.
meet.
God bless you
But-
all. Thank you very much, everybody.
You know, I gotta have people that want to spend the money. You know,
Man.
So I'm a tattoo artist. You know, if people don't want tattoos, then
I thought he was going to
there's
sign.
no work to be done. But realistically, if I could
Did you
tattoo every
forget?
day, I would.
I think.
I genuinely enjoy doing what I do, you know. But I don't know. We're not gonna watch. This is just the rest of this video. So I'm just walking down. There's not really anything else meaningful in this video. But that being said, now we can kind of talk about this bill. You know, like again, like I said earlier, you're taking from one side and giving to one side. So somewhere along the way, somebody is going to suffer. So anybody that's looking at this bill like it's 100% positive and there's no bads coming from it is going to be disappointed, because that's literally not the way it's going to go. So that being said, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, guys, and I hope everything goes great. I'm really looking forward to it, you know. My dad actually falls in the bracket of the high-end people that this will benefit. So I really hope he benefits from it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I appreciate everybody watching that does watch this later on. Obviously, nobody's going to watch it now. But when people do watch this later, when I do get actual subscribers and followers, because that will happen eventually, just because of how consistent I'm going to maintain my stream. Thank you. And